So you're in the wedding and event planning industry, or something that applies to that industry, and you want more clients each and every month for your business. But maybe you've struggled, or maybe your sources of leads has dried up a little bit. Which I've been hearing this a lot lately with speaking to wedding planners and event planners. Is they were getting consistent leads. Like they might haven't even had to turn away leads or clients 6 months ago, and the sources were really just drying up. And so I wanted to really help you get more clients each and every month, because obviously more clients is more money, which we're all in business to, one, provide revenue for that business to be profitable, so you can have a life, right? And then also provide a great service to your clients, so you really extract the lifetime value out of that client, right? You want to extract the most money out of each client. And so I'm going to kind of present to you how we kind of approach this, and to really help you just identify your ideal prospect, and really tone in on how to acquire that client, and only those specific clients that you want to work with. And so you don't have to take those low quality leads anymore. You don't have to settle in, man, I just took that deal because I had to. And that's not what you want out of your business. You want to work with high ticket clients that are going to pay you your price point that you're happy with. And then they're not going to give you a hard time. They understand what you're doing. They've already consumed your content. And so this model that we use not only is going to brand your company, it's going to let your ideal clients self-identify themselves as a potential prospect. You're going to be warming them up the whole time throughout this process. And the great thing is, they're already primed before they, are on the phone with you, or, whatever your sales process is. One, this should all be geared towards your number one sales process. I wanted to, get that out of the way. Whatever has been working for you for years, or whatever it may be, keep that same process. Now five or six different streams that come into that process, right? So first, what you got to do is who is your targeting needs to be right. Who is your ideal client, and with that, I know exactly who it is. Okay, who, what, and where these people associate, where do they work, what groups are they in, what do they do on social media, how do they interact, where can I find them that might not be the most generic way that somebody else would market to this person, right? And how are you going to get in front of this specific person, right? And then when you have that defined, okay, this is your target audience, okay? And then we're going to go into how am I going to get in front of them? How am I going to get their attention, right? So your messaging has to be right. If I can spell messaging. And then you got to be very specific. You need to call out your audience. You need to provide valuable insights to that audience, that only that specific person. So if I'm going for high ticket clients, I'm not going to say any words like zero, or anything like that pertains to lower ticket people that are going to flood into my sales process, right? Now when you need to provide value. So how we do it is pretty much, if I were to literally give you all the information to run successful marketing campaigns from 6 different ways, 7 different ways, and keep putting that content in front of you, one, it lets you know that we're experts in our field, we know what we do, why they have no other choice but to go with you whenever they're ready, right? And we'll talk about that in a minute, and kind of how we identify that, right? And so and then how you need to write out 3 selling points at least, right? And when I say this, what makes you different than the competition? Is that price? Is it quality? Is it Now, don't get me wrong, if you work with lower ticket items and you just pump out a lot of them, then you need to differentiate yourself in a unique way that way. See what I'm saying? So, you need to let them identify themselves. So we're getting into the process of how we run, madly successful campaigns that generate, consistent leads and more revenue for your business. I'm telling you, this is no get-rich-quick scheme. This is a legitimate model that's going to extract high-quality clients for your business. Flat out, doesn't matter even what industry you're in. It works in any industry if you do it the right way. So with your messaging, you have to, storytelling is very good to go along with that, is to tell, you can tell your journey and what, your clients have experienced, what you've experienced, and how it's made you an expert in your field. Definitely kind of gear it towards the customer, but also relate it back to, yourself, and then overcome their objections in the copy. So whatever objections you get each and every day, it needs to be in your copy. It needs to answer it before they even ask it, right? And identify. You might say, yeah, Parker, that sounds great, but how, right? If you have a but how question, you need to identify that, right? Or, but why? So you need your, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we do it. I'm just going to kind of lay it out for you. Okay, so most people that market to your clientele, if they do it already, I'm going to be very specific. This ideal audience, everybody's going to pay a fortune for it, right? Because everybody's targeting and saturated. They're seeing ads constantly. So even if your message is good, they see the same thing every day. So they're probably just going to scroll past it, right? Or, they're going to not take action. Okay? So what if, and there's two categories of buyers, right? The ones that are ready right now, and then there's, customers and clients that are ready in, the next month or 2 months, right? So what if we market to a bigger audience, right? Still the same targeting, right? Still the same, customer clientele. It's just their interest, their specific, events or, anything that those people do. You need to be very specific with that. But this can be a little bit bigger because when you make your content, it needs to be geared to only that specific audience, right? Like only businesses that, or clients that would be perfect, right? That have the money to afford your product, that are not going to be super hassle clients. Like they're busy enough, they just want somebody to handle it for them, right? So now we're going to put out video content, right? This could be 5, 6 different pieces. Whatever you want to do, you got to start somewhere, right? One video is a lot better than 0 videos, right? So put out a piece of content, run ads to that video. Whoever engages with that content, then we're going to run, 5 or 6 different ads to them, right? I know, I'm the next Picasso with the drawings, right? So now that you're, running 5 or 6 different pieces of content, and these could be very short videos. Like they don't have to be professionally done. They don't, you have a phone and maybe a tripod. That's good enough, right? It doesn't have to be. People overthink content on social media, but the more content you put out that's relevant to this audience, and they keep seeing it, one, that's going to generate people to attract to your page, your, whatever. But that's not, the success. You're trying to drive them in. So all of these is running to your best sales process, right? So if it's to, book a call with you, so, this is the easiest sales pitch ever because you provide them value like they would do it themselves or where they could go wrong doing this. And they've already, kind of been exposed to your content and really realized that you know what you're talking about. You're an expert in your field. So then all you have to say is like, if this sounds, like good information to you and you like us to do it for you, please give us a call or click the link below and book a call with us, or whatever your sales process is. Send us an email. Every business has a different salesman, right? So if we were driving them to a a sales call, you might just take them to a landing page that they can book a call. Or if this is just 5 tips to say if you're a wedding planner and you're high ticket items, right? Your high ticket weddings, $100,000 weddings, your cost is probably $10,000. it could be as simple as running a 5 tips to have the most extravagant wedding for your new marriage, right, or something like that. Obviously, say a little bit better, right? And so all they do is be taken to a landing page, right? They opt in. So you're always exchanging name, email, and phone number because this is the reason. So this has been working so well for our clients, and we've been doing this in our own company. It is absolutely astounding the results that have been coming from it, and how to take, even if it wasn't such a successful ad on the front end, it's extracting so much revenue in the back end. Even the ad that's not even very successful. Now, the ones that are successful, they've been just killing it, right? It's ridiculous. So they give you a name, email, phone number. We're going to route it right to either you or your best salesperson's phone. And this could be a thank you call. That then turns around into book a call with me. Or if it's not a good time to talk about it, I guarantee you can close deal. Like, we have clients closing deals at this point. Hey, thank you so much for, downloading 5 tips to, have an extravagant wedding. I was just wondering, are you, obviously you're recently engaged. Tell me a little bit more about that. Take interest, create a conversation with them. And then by the end of the call, if you know what you're doing on a sales call, is you turn it around to then put yourself in a place to sell them, right? And if not, then you have name, email, phone number. We're going to have email sequences running out to them. You're going to have different pieces of content. Now you have a potential client that even if they get an answer, but I'm saying you have 8 minutes to call this lead, right? 8 minutes to have a 90% chance of connecting. Like, that's ridiculous. If you have ever done a lot of sales calls in your life, connecting with 90% of the prospects is almost unheard of, right? But what are they doing? They just took the time out of the day to opt in to a Facebook, campaign. Obviously, they're not doing anything or anything of importance, right? So now you connect with them within 8 minutes. After 15 minutes, it drops down to another 20%. We've been testing this, by the way. And then after 1 hour, it drops down another 20%. If you have the audacity to wait 24 hours, you got a 30% chance of catching that lead on the phone in a good time, right? So just this alone would generate you 5 to 10 more bookings a month. So this audience, now how are we doing this, right? So we put out video content. Anybody that watches this content is now being shown this, right? So these are just custom audiences. And if you don't know how to set these up, you can give us a call, 251-284-3033, and we'll literally walk you step by step on, how to do that. But I just wanted to, show you, if you're putting out relevant content to your ideal clientele and you are just providing value, we use the model, demonstrate you can help people by actually helping people model. It works really great. You should try it, right? And so this audience is a lot cheaper, by the way. You're going to pay less for it, and it's going to identify more high-quality prospects. And I'm telling you, if you had 5 or 6 different pieces of content, say if it's a webinar or if it's it's as simple as if you wrote blog posts, put those blog posts in an email, right? And they have to opt in, and you'll send it via email. They don't know your blog post exists, right? They don't know your company. It's a fresh audience, right? So it's as simple as that. If you already have content, just find a way to exchange information for value, right? If you have webinars or if you have, short little, training videos, hey, I made 3 videos on how to plan the perfect extravagant wedding, right? And if you're an event planner and you're reoccurring revenue, when it comes to how much money should I spend, how much money can you float? What's the lifetime value of that customer? If you get them in the door, how many times are they going to come back and buy from you? How many times are you going to work for them? And how many referrals can you extract from them? And this is a big thing that wedding planners don't do, and I don't know why, is you should be extracting 5.7 referrals out of every client you work with. That should be the goal. The ones that I've talked to and the ones that we work with when we started, 0, if not maybe 1, was from referrals. Now you got to give them some kind of incentive to extract referrals. So that email sequence is going to be running, all down here, multiple emails that are just firing off every day. Is giving them to know, like, trust, schedule. Know, like, trust, testimonial, schedule. It's all about building that rapport through the email sequences. Now, some people say emails are, dead, but 40% of our revenue comes through emails. I mean, if that number doesn't astound you, and if you look at any of the big companies, and if you look at, or ask any big company how much money comes from email, they will say, 20 to 30%, I guarantee it. And building that email list is something you're doing here as well. So it's just all stacking on top of each other. And once this audience gets primed, I can't emphasize enough, who do you think you're going to run new ads and new campaigns to? Or new pieces of content to? So if I put out 3 pieces of content a week, and I'm going to extract a clip of that or the whole thing and use it as an ad campaign, right? Who do you think I'm going to run to? Once I've spent the money here to get my ideal clientele, just start. It just runs right to that clientele every time. It just right to them. And those are the ones that if you, in this bigger audience, if you haven't extracted them or got them to move into your sales process. Now, if you have, 5 or 6 mini sales processes over here and they're all driving to you, this could be, a webinar, blog post that you send through email. This could be, schedule a call, whatever it may be, right? Excuse my art, I've been working on it, right? Those are all driving to your business. Now, don't get me wrong, we have like 6, 7 different streams of leads, right? So if you have 6 or 7 pieces of content, which these can be very simple, very, but they need to be very helpful and valuable to that customer. And that's how, you're going to really generate more leads. And if you just do the simple, push a notification to you. When I tell a business owner, okay, we're going to generate the leads for you, all right? And then we're going to route them to your phone or your best salesperson's phone, and they can follow up with that lead instantly, and your, just your booking rate or your, revenue will increase dramatically just from this process alone. But when you have a whole selling system that's, extracting referrals, generating more leads, and when you're in videos, if you feel like anybody got value or would get value from this piece of content, please share it with them. I mean, we've got leads from just people like, that sounds great. I already got a marketing team, but they've sent it off to somebody else that doesn't, and we've got that lead from there. Because we always ask, where did you come from? And how did you hear about us? And 90% of the time, 90% of our leads come from ads. I mean, 90%. And if your business has been dropping in your wedding planner, 80% go with the first wedding planner that contacts them. It astounds me, my whole business model. If I was thinking about just becoming a wedding planner the other day, just because of that point, I can dominate the market. Because, one, people are relying on Wedding Wire, they're relying on the knot, and stuff like that, and they're not using a good marketing strategy to have multiple streams of leads. Because if that lead source that you're using is bringing low quality leads or not enough leads, and you want to scale your business, this is 100% necessary to really drive more sales and revenue for your business. Now, if you have any questions, regarding this kind of system that I'm talking about and how to really identify your ideal client and only work with the clients that are going to pay you high ticket, or your ideal price point, and just have a good thriving company over the next year. And that's what we do. We really build a structure and strategy around your business model. And if you'd like us to literally just tell you how we would market, and literally give you a step-by-step marketing blueprint for your company, what I want you to do is book a strategy session. See how easy the sales pitch is, by the way? It's because I've already provided you value on how to grow your company. So this is all you have to do in your company, right? But seriously, if you'd like us to do this for you, or if you have any questions and you want a step-by-step blueprint for your business, book a strategy session, and or shoot us an email, parker@divergemarketing.com, and we'll set up a time to talk. Have a great day.